The result is a hard one to take. I don't think it's a reflection on the performance. I thought we were brilliant tonight. I thought we, even towards the end, we were going to be the team that scores the first goal. But it wasn't meant to be. This is a cruel game. You don't always get what you deserve. But it's going to be a motivator for us now. We've had so many highs in the last couple of years. Obviously, this is a disappointing result, but it will motivate us to move forward, and we'll reflect. And yeah, it's bittersweet because we've done so much great things this year. We've faced so much adversity. One thing that I'll speak highly of this team is we've got grit. We've got some grit about this team, and we have to continue that. That's part of the culture, that's part of the togetherness, and that'll never end.
Go for the question, start with Austin.
So kind of just talking about the game in and of itself, it was a really tightly contested game, obviously a semifinal for a reason, but just can you go into a little more detail of just kind of the back and forth and the setup heading into the game and how you kind of saw it play out?
Yeah, I mean, we kept the same team, but we moved personnel a little bit. We obviously played Marty as a 9, Julie as an 11, Jackie as a 7. We knew going into this game, Gotham are a very aggressive team. They want to win the ball in the opponent's half. Players like Carter and Sonnet are very front-footed, so using Marty as like an extra midfielder and trying to exploit that space that they left in behind was our game plan going into it. Probably didn't see it as much as we would have liked in the first half. The second half was much better. And yeah, I think in the first half we created probably the best chance of the game. Some really good combination play, getting out wide, and then unfortunately just missing the ball. But yeah, I thought we created the better chances throughout the game. And it comes down to that last bit of execution and, some good defending and goalkeeping as well. But overall, really pleased with performance. But obviously, just would have liked it to result in a win.
Go to Mike.
Seb, you kind of just talked about the grit the team was able to show today. Before the playoffs even started, you kind of credited the team's persistence as another key thing that kind of spurred a little bit of that change after that summer streak of winless. But just wanted to ask, I mean, obviously the result was not how you guys expected it today, but is there a positive to get out of this, knowing that this team is showing these types of characteristics, and is that something that perhaps the team could build on going into the offseason and then use that going into next season as well? Yeah,
I think we've established that type of culture in the last, 3 years, I think. Shout out to the fans as well, because I thought they were terrific tonight. Front office did a great job of getting as many fans into the stadium as possible, and they really helped the team and create that atmosphere, which is also part of the process as well. You want to make it intimidating for the opposition. You want to make it hostile, and you can see the determination and desire around the team. Moments like this, you say, we're not losers. We learn from it. We get better. Obviously, we've had a lot of highs, but we face a lot of adversity, like you mentioned in that, mid-season period. But they've never had their heads down at all. Throughout all the challenges that we've faced, we've got on with it. We've put our heads down. We've stuck together, and those are the characteristics that we need here. We've also shown that we are adaptable with key players missing as well. And next player steps up, even though some players may not get as much playing time as they would like. This is a funny old game and things can happen, and you got to make sure that you're ready to perform and keep ourselves to a high standard. So what you've seen this year is that there's been players who have done that, and without these characteristics, we would never have put ourselves in this position tonight where we're now fighting for a final. Obviously, the result didn't go in our way, but without these values, characteristics, principles, all of those core, personality traits, we'd never get where we are tonight. So that's why I'm most proud of the team. Obviously, it didn't go in our way. It would have been nice to go into 2 finals in 2 successive years, but it wasn't meant to be. And yeah, we'll come back hungrier than ever.
What, Brandon?
Coach, in the back, if this was Marta's last game, do you feel that her performance tonight really showed just what she has done throughout her entire career, that determination and never giving up?
Yeah, she's amazing. We saw what she can do in the 94th minute and carry a ball up the field and win ourselves a penalty. She's hungry for these moments like tonight. Obviously, she's disappointed with the result. But yeah, she steps up. Big players step up in these games, and you could see that tonight. She really led the line as a forward. And yeah, she epitomizes what this team's about. All those characteristics that I talk about, she has them in abundance. So when you've got a player with that sort of magnitude and that sort of career, and she's setting the example, it's very easy for players to buy into it.
Go to the front.
Yeah, Marta didn't seem to think that last penalty was a foul. How did you see it?
The free kick?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But yeah, I can't say a lot.
Is it more frustrating to lose?
There's no easy way to lose. I think when it's out of your control, it's incredibly frustrating. But the ref made a decision in that moment, and we always talk about controlling the controllables. Can't always control where a referee decides to make the call or not make the call, and so you have to move on from it. And yeah, although I don't agree with the call, we have to adapt and move on from it.
We'll go online to Osley.
Hi, Seb. Looking ahead for next season, what do you think has to change tactically or in a formation or mentally for Orlando next season? Or is it too early to ask this question? I'm sorry.
No, it's an interesting question. I think going back last year, we were probably one-dimensional. We were very much a transitional team, not concede, look to hurt teams in transition and exploit that space when they're most vulnerable in with the ball. I think we've shown this year that we are capable of possessing more, creating good opportunities, switching the point of attack, 3-player combinations. And if we can combine the two ways of playing, then we can be a really threatening team going into next year. So I don't think we need to add a whole lot. We probably have to be more consistent with our performances. But it gives us that foundation now that we can change it with a click of a finger. Whatever the opponent's given us, we can adapt to it. And so I think that's a really good step in the right direction for the evolution of this team and for us to continue to move in the right direction.